Hey guys, welcome to the video. Okay, so today on August 22nd, 2019, Ninja Crew released a balance patch update thing, so I thought I'd just go over it in case you guys have not seen. I'm assuming pretty much every big BTD YouTuber is going to be going over it, but you know what, I might as well pitch in and do it because there's not really a good reason not to. Anyway, okay, so this patch was not really a fundamental game, or this update wasn't really a game changer. Like some of the other updates, like they added like eco powers and stuff like that. Like I'm sure if you scroll down, the sabotage powers, eco powers, like all these other things. This was just a balance patch, even though it is an even number, unlike these, but it is just a balance patch. So get your hopes up. If you don't have the update yet, Android doesn't have it yet. I don't know about Apple, but I'm not entirely sure. I play on Steam. I don't really play it on mobile, so I'm not entirely sure about how this stuff works. But you're gonna get it in the next few days, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. But okay, so version 6.4. There's a new map called Moon Landing. It's really cool. I'm gonna have it in the background, so I'm not gonna be talking about this too in depth. But it's a really cool map. It's like short, but it kind of loops around the map, so it's interesting. That's all I gotta say. But okay, so the balance changes. So Team Tower Stun got reduced from 3 seconds to 2 seconds. Okay, Team Tower Stun basically does made so all your towers all your towers couldn't attack for a certain amount of time. It was 3 seconds reduced to 2. I feel like that's a little bit more reasonable because 3 seconds is basically the entirety of Zen Garden, if we're being honest. So I feel like that's a tiny bit more true and fair than it was a little bit ago. But anyway, Deactivate Abilities, it made it so you couldn't use an ability. That was really good for rushing. So for instance, if they just had a tower that was only good for an ability, like for instance Blade Maelstrom, and they used an original neighbor rush, they couldn't use Blade Maelstrom if you used it. And it was 15 seconds. It was 20 seconds. It's only 15 now. I don't think this is going to make too much of a difference because 15 seconds is already like way longer than a normal rush is going to happen. So if you send your opponent Region Rainbows, like the 5 seconds isn't going to matter. They're going to leak through. So I don't really think that's going to be too big of a deal. It didn't really change too much in my opinion. Eco Choke. This one just stopped you from getting your eco, so basically you only get about 1 eco round instead of 2 eco rounds. That's fine. I'm pretty sure it's stopped you from getting eco. I never really played against anyone that used Eco Choke personally. And now it only has 2 uses, so like I was saying, like the trend is here a little bit more fair, a little bit less like kind of like I don't know if that's really that, I don't know the word for it, more like reasonable. That's what I gotta say. But anyway, self freeze 12 seconds was 20. This one's actually like, I feel like it's good, but I feel like it's kind of the same category as Deactivate Abilities, because it's still gonna be, if someone rushes you, like 12 seconds is gonna be way more than the rush is gonna be anyway, as long as you're rushing with a fast balloon and not like some like slow balloon, like I don't know, I'm trying to think of like a slower balloon. So you're start with a fast, like blacks, like, or like a lead rush. Like as long as you're rushing with a fast balloon or boost it, this isn't really gonna affect anything. Tower powers, damage boost. The cooldown for using, okay, so once you use it, obviously there's a cooldown. Now it's increased by 3 seconds. I don't think that's gonna be a huge deal, because I don't know. Because usually, like, your opponent's not going to rush you consecutively, or they're going to rush you while you don't have your boost. And that just makes it a little bit easier, a little bit more fair. Damage boost is the best one anyway, so yeah, I just think it's a little bit better. Not for damage boost, but for playing against damage boost. Track power, so lightning bolts. Now they have a 4-second cooldown. Okay, before you could just spam 3 lightning bolts on the map at the same time and just destroy pretty much any rush in the game. Camo didn't matter. Region didn't matter. Moab, you destroy the ceramic side, so as long as you pot the Moab there, you'll be fine. But now it's a little bit less useful, but it's only 4 seconds, so now you just kind of have to space them out. Like, you can use that and like a lightning bolt and maybe like buy a little bit more defense, or a lightning bolt and boost, and you'll still be able to defend most stuff. It definitely hurts lightning bolts a lot, but I don't think it's going to be as, it's not going to be, I feel like lightning bolts are still going to be pretty good. It's not going to affect them too much. It just means like a full out region rain rush, you're probably not going to survive with just lightning bolts, and that's kind of the takeaway I got from it. But Juggler Lance, okay, Juggler Lance got a huge nerf. I don't understand why they nerfed Juggler Lance. Like, this may just be me, but I feel like I rarely ever see Juggler Lance in an actual game. I know that they're trying to do this to match up with the lightning bolt nerf, so you can't just spam them and then just get rid of pretty much every balloon on the screen. But now this makes it so it's just like Juggler Lance is already pretty not useful, but now this just makes it like a tiny bit less useful. So I don't know how I feel about that, but I mean, it's, sorry, over with like Glue Storm. Okay, duration increased by 2. This is huge, mostly because before it didn't affect the balloons that were coming in. Like if you like use glue halfway through a rush and they kept on sending balloons, it really wasn't going to hit those balloons. But now since the duration is 2 seconds longer, it's going to last and hit those balloons that they send in, which is really something that Glue Storm needed. So I really appreciate that. Super Balloon Boost. Okay, so this basically means, so when you use it, the balloon send speed is now 75% instead of 60%. Not 16, that would have been a huge difference, but 60%. That's only a 50% increase. And I mean, 15%, that is a decent amount, but I don't know enough about this, how it's going to affect it, so affect the meta. I can't really comment on that. I don't know how that's gonna do. The Eco Amplifier. Okay, Eco Amp got killed. It got killed. You guys are seeing this. Okay, Eco Amplifier. Income multiplier reduced by 2 times. So now you only get 2 times your income and not 3 times. And it reduced to 2 uses. Okay, so originally you get about, so you get 9 times your income and money at the beginning of the game, because three times your money, 3 uses, that's 9. But now you're only gonna get, if we do 2 times 2, that's 4. That's like 5 eco gains that you don't have now, which is that's a pretty big difference, especially with the cooldown that it currently has. I don't feel like Eco Amp is gonna be nearly as good as it was. Like, Eco Amp was probably the best eco power, but I don't know about this. This looks like they just kind of just like, you know what? We think Eco Amp's like a little bit too overwhelming and not enough, like, because you didn't really have to strategize. You use Eco Amp because it just wasn't something that you really had to think to use, because you just spammed it at the beginning of the game as soon as possible, and then you pretty much just use money. Like with all the other ones, like Rubber Gold and like something like Salty Wounds, you have to plan those out and make sure that you have to like strategize with it. With Eco Amp, you don't really have to do anything. I feel like they're making it so you have to strategize more in your games, and I feel like that's reasonable. Okay, the following maps have had slight changes to ensure both sides are functionally identical for placement areas, etc. This is not exactly true. Yes, but they are perfectly fine. Like, I feel like Shadow River, Hydro Dam, Zen Garden, Ice Flow, like the majority of these are fine. But there's some maps, like I was testing on Battle Sands, I knew there were trees. There's still spots where you can't place stuff because of the trees. The trees are in ever slightly different positions, which does make a change. It's not really anything notable, but it is still a change that they didn't fix. Offside, I'm not sure they fixed an offside, because offside was known as like the equal competitive map. It was, I don't know what they did to offsides. But something also that I really wanted to mention is, okay, Battle Park. I never personally play on Battle Park. It's not the longest map in the game. That goes with Bloon circles. Battle Park is the second longest map in the game. A lot of people like it because water, good water space in the middle, the loops around. It's like kind of like a longer map. I know a lot of people like playing the longer maps, and I completely understand. But they didn't fix. Battle Park was the one map, at least to my knowledge, that actually had a farm difference, because in the bottom corner, right next to where the balloons leak on Battle Park, there was a tree that prevented you from placing 3 farms on the right side. But the tree is in a slightly different position on the left side, I believe, so you can still place 3 farms. The one map that actually had a functional difference with farms, which is what you're mostly going to be placing, they didn't fix, it's really confusing me. And they didn't fix the tree placements on Battle Sands either, so I'm not entirely sure what they are changing. They may just like fix, like, maybe the track is slightly angled or something that may have made the balloons like half a second later, and like, yeah, definitely fix that. But I'm not entirely sure what this is all about. I have to see like pre-patch, post-patch stuff in order to actually figure that out. Anyway, bug fixes. Okay, fixed a virtual. Okay, wait, yeah. Okay, so I don't really know about these. I never encountered I never really played card battles, and I never really watched replays, so I don't really know what this was. But it's great that I fixed. Same thing with the tutorials, because there's 2 of these, I believe. So yeah, Battles Tutorial and Battle School. Yeah, like the tutorials, like they fixed some stuff. That's fine. And then some visual issues in the clan menu, like clans have always been a bit glitchy. Like sometimes keys wouldn't show up correctly. Like there'd be some weird stuff going on. Like sometimes, like, I don't know. Clans have always been buggy. I feel like, I don't know if they fixed. There was a glitch. I don't know if they fixed this. But if you invited someone, because there's an invite by clan option, that just did not work for a majority, like a big period of the game. I don't know if they ever fixed that, but hopefully that's fixed. And I think that's related to clans, or I assume, I don't know if they're fixing this stuff. I'd like to see if that's fixed, even though, like, cause they might not have mentioned it. Like a lot of companies, at least game companies, like they just don't mention every single thing they're passionate about. Of course, they mention the majority of stuff. They don't mention every single little detail. So we'll just have to test that later. But fixed auto loss from forfeiting a previous tournament game. I'm not entirely sure what that is. But eco boost power, not showing how much eco the player receives during the first 3 rounds. Of course, just like the little things. And then incorrect visuals, beefy MOAB power, just making sure everything displays correctly. And then minor text fixes. So, yeah, that was the majority of the update. The majority of the update I'm going to go and show you the changelog on screen in case you want to pause on anything. Like I said, this is not available to all devices quite yet. There are some devices that do not have it, and you guys will get it in the next few days, so I wouldn't really worry too much. Just, you're going to get it soon. It's not like a huge update. It's just a balance patch. So, just show it right here. You guys can go ahead and pause and read over if you want to see what was changed, but I'm just going to show it right here. And, well, yeah, that's the end of it. So, thanks to y'all for watching. Hope you guys had a wonderful day, and until the next video, goodbye.